Hey, everybody.
We're back, and bills is paid, and we are in a position to not be forgiving because I'm not asking for forgiveness.
We're not, you know. And sometimes what, I guess the bottom line for anything is that people make mistakes, whatever. But when somebody's giving you kindness, doing favors for you, folks, be kind and say thank you once in a while.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Miss Ramos.
Yeah, you're not old. Nobody's old
Thank
anything.
you, Chris. Thank you.
Yes, I have to work with these people every week.
Thank you, E.L.
He's very lucky, and he knows that we love
We're
him.
practicing.
The luck is real. The luck is real.
Is.
And somebody has a birthday coming up in this room.
Oh,
I don't know.
there you go.
Last time I checked, it was a DBM.
Yeah, well, it'll be alcohol involved. How is Platinum One Properties? Tina, how is Platinum One Properties different from other brokerages when it comes to representing investors' interests?
I think first of all, we look at this as a long-term relationship with this investor. Okay, so we're not just trying to make a quick buck and throw some numbers at somebody. We do take time to analyze the property, do a project analysis for them.
Right.
Not just the CMAs on through the HAR system. So they need to know what the sales comps look like. They need to know what rental comps look like. They need to know what the neighborhood stats are, income, renters versus owners in that area, etc. All the information that we can gather helps the investor make a good decision. Is this a good flip to work on,
right,
or is this something I just want to hold on to for a number of years and let it appreciate and gain great rental rates on this area? So one innovative group of Platinum One is just focused on maintaining these relationships, building the relationships, and then our property management department, that's a whole separate department. We bring them in because we have vetted contractors and inspectors who will go out to the properties very quickly for us and give an overview of what the property will need for the after repair value. So when you hear of the ARV, that is the after repair value of the property. And this is very important, whether it's a hard money lender or if you're going through a renovation loan to try and achieve your goal. They will be needing this information, and it has to be accurate.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Because one of the things that I know for a fact, when I use the word warm in describing Dina, it's because of her impact.
Yes.
She embraces the whole process on behalf of the client, and you have to be invested both personally and professionally to make sure that the client is fully taken care of. That's one of the things. That's why I asked that question as we was going into this whole thing. Now, my friend over here.
I love the way he looked.
Yeah, my friend over here. All right.
Me.
Yeah, the one who raises more hell with waiters and waitresses than I do.
Do not go to eat with these two unless you're fully prepared.
For excellent service.
Excellent
Well,
service,
the
yes.
service should be excellent. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, be ignoring us. The hell wrong with these people?
I mean, how could they ignore
Yeah,
all of this?
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
no one can ignore all
it's
this.
like,
And this one has no problem getting off the table to go find his
That's right.
waiter or waitress and see what happened. Where did they get lost?
Like, where the hell did you go?
yeah. Did
You
you quit?
get lost?
Did you quit? We need to know if you quit or not.
He'll be finding them in the parking lot on their smoking break and stuff. And
If I gotta go find my own pitcher of tea, your tip has just went down a little bit.
There you go. There you go. Now, Chris, one of the things that you are different about in regards to representation is your thoroughness. Okay, and he's Mr. Analyzer. He analyzes the numbers off the paper, people. Okay.
He does. He really
Well, that's
does.
what our clients are looking for. I think that's the reason why our clients come back to us is because we're not just going, oh, this is what you want. Here's something
exactly.
quick little thing.
Exactly.
We're actually going to spend some time to put it into our property analyzer and send you numbers to kind of go, look, here's, like Dina was talking about, here's the comps for after repair. Here's the comps for like what's needing to be upgraded, and here's what they look like. So that way we can put that in there, so that way you can see whether the deal makes sense or not. And we try to, it's ultimately the client's decision, but we're going to look through it and really present that to you so that way you can make the best decision for your property and for your financial well-being.
Absolutely.
And that's, and it's a dynamic, and it's purposeful.
Yes.
It's done with strategies in mind. And speaking of strategies, what strategy do you provide in finding houses for the investor remodeler? I mean, what are you bringing to the table to help them understand what their goals are?
Well, I mean, we're really looking at, off-market properties.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at things that, a lot of people are looking for, the homes that need to be flipped. Is there any value-added items that you can do? Maybe that there's, it has an oversized lot that you want to add on to an extra room to increase your square footage. But we're really looking at all those different types of properties to make sure that you're getting, to your goals.
Okay. So, one of the things I said I can't be a landlord in Texas. Too many rules.
Well, and that's the reason why we always reiterate that we have property management.
Yeah.
Yes, because I sure need it.
So that way you don't have to deal with those people that just don't show up to their appointments at 8:30 in the morning on Saturday.
Yeah, or
like this morning.
Like me, I wanted people to. The fact that you can't take the door off the hinges, that just bothers me.
Exactly.
Sir, we discussed this. I was in a rental this morning that the tenant hasn't moved in yet, so the HVAC has been turned off,
right.
And it was 50 degrees this morning.
Oh, wow.
Without it. So you take that door off, it's going to be a little bit cooler than 50 degrees in the house.
Punish him. Hey, you ready to be punished. That's right, people.
Be on time.
But it's the same thing. Like, you wouldn't represent yourself in a divorce and all this stuff. You get somebody that does this every day. The same thing with property management. It's not for the weak, I'm telling you.
No.
And if you're emotionally vested in this property, it creates a weird dynamic between you and the tenant, especially if there's anything that just goes awry. And
see, I was a novice at the time. I thought I had to do everything because I was my dad, my stepdad. They did everything.
Yeah.
So I thought I had to do everything. So
you learned better of your ways.
Yeah, that's why I sold that thing.
And I mean, but that's what we're talking about. I mean, we have clients that live in duplexes.
Yes.
That they brought us on, and we actually ended up kicking out the tenant that lived on the other half, and the new tenant doesn't even know that they own the building. I'm like, if you want to complain about the property management company, just like the tenant, let them complain. If you want to talk a little smack too. But then that gives them a degree of separation to where they're not coming and harassing them.
You really do have to have those degrees of separation, because that's where I got hung up at. There were some that I liked and some I didn't like, and the other ones I wanted to slip and fall. It was just a variety.
What's so funny is that it's actually a couple, and so the wife of this couple, we were showing for their personal home, and she was complaining about the tenants being, I guess, noisy coming in the middle of the night. Because it's two guys in their 20s,
right.
So I'm sure they're out enjoying their evening.
Yeah.
And since it's a duplex and they're connected, she was like, I'm gonna be glad when we got her, a single family, because them tenants next door. But she goes, I sure do love the fact that they pay their rent on time.
It is. But see, that reminds me of my sister in New Orleans. My older sister, she's an advocate for the poor.
Yes.
I don't know who raised her. I really don't. Okay, so she's
not Ella Rose.
She wasn't listening to Ella Rose or my dad. I don't know who she was listening to. So anyway, she's an advocate for the poor, and so she had an opportunity to buy an apartment complex. All right, over in New Orleans. So this is pre-Katrina. Katrina took it out. Anyway, she bought a 24-unit apartment complex. And so I was teasing. I said, "Yeah, Miss Advocate for the Poor."
Until you own it.
Yeah, until you own it. Right? She said. I said, so what you gonna do if they need some help? Oh, if they live in my place, they either pay my rent or they got to get out. I said, you ain't gonna be an advocate for the poor? No, I'm an advocate for the poor when other people doing something to them, not when I'm doing something to myself.
Well, just like we mentioned a few shows ago, is that here in Harris County in Houston, tenants really weren't able to get that assistance until we actually went and filed for the eviction cases.
Right.
So that's the reason why we filed the everything to the T, so that way. You got till the 3rd to pay. On the 4th, you're getting your notice, your 3-day notice to vacate.
Right.
So that way, if we decide to go file for eviction cases, yes, you've received your notice. I mean,
that's
out. Like the biggest thing.
Get out.
Pay or move
well,
out.
I was, again, going back to the property management department that we have. So I went along with Stephen Blackwell to the eviction hearing of a client, and I was really amped up, expecting a lot of yelling and anger. I don't know what I thought, my mind, because I've seen it before.
Right.
And it was the most amazing, peaceful event that, he went up to the client, how are you doing today? He advised her, that, so long as she followed through with her service, she applied for rental assistance and received it. So it was just very...
No throwing out.
No, it was very...
No.
So she paid her rent, got caught up, and never was late again. And that was a wonderful experience.
No dragging them out to the courtroom.
No, and then she actually even asked to be representative on a home purchase. So.
Right. So it was
because
really
she was treated
great.
with respect and fairness.
Exactly. Fairness goes a long way. But I'll tell you on the flip side of that, we had a tenant that had, without anyone's knowledge, some rather large dogs in the house, destroyed a good amount of the house, and the deposit did not cover the repairs that were done. So, rather than say tough luck to the owner, Stephen went ahead and filed some collection, for the amount that was over the deposit that was owed. So next time this person decides to rent or buy or do anything, that'll be on his credit report, and you just don't want that.
Right.
So as a renter, I know it's not your house, but you need to keep in mind as a renter, a tenant, that you want to maintain good, responsible behaviors because it follows you for years to come.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell. This is the Real Estate U Show. I'm joined by Dina Ramos of Platform Properties, and my good friend Chris Blackwell of One Innovative, because he's the cute one, and we got shirts on order.
I've been hearing this for a little bit. I mean, when they coming in?
COD. The COD. Okay.
He wants one for every day of the week too.
Okay. So I'm E.L. Crane. They're not. Like, subscribe, share. We're gonna take a break.